We're live.
Kenny's doing some type of reveal to me of what he's wearing.
I'm wearing Jamar
I-
Chase, and the reason I'm wearing Jamar Chase is
Oh,
because I
this
play
is
Richard
voodoo.
this
This
week,
is voodoo.
and I just want
Wow.
I want to wish
Wow.
I want to wish
Wow.
Jamar Chase well, sweet wishes. I want Jamar Chase to have a nice week. He's expected to play. He said he's playing. I hope he has a great week
This
this
is
week.
next hand. This is next level. In like what do they call that? Not the reverse. This is next level. What do they call it? Uh, I don't even know.
I don't know what they call it, but I'm just trying to
Reverse
get the point.
psychology. This is next level reverse psych. This is gross. I'm not gonna act like I ain't wearing that shirt. Whatever. He's gonna ball out anyways. All right, people. Welcome back. We're on episode 11, 12, 11, 11, 12.
Well,
Episode 12 um of Tuesday Night Football. I'm Richard Mignette.
I'm Kenny Nicholson.
And folks, the playoffs are set. We officially have our playoff. You want to break it down for us?
Sure. So yesterday there was a lot of scenarios, or not yesterday, last week there was a lot of scenarios that could have happened. Not much really changed in the outlook. So the way we got it going here, we got four teams eliminated. Unfortunately, Dan is going to Waffle House. We had a
Yep.
talk in the chat about that today.
Mm-hmm.
We have some
We had a thoughtful, considerable consideration. Whatever, considerable. We took in consideration to everybody's feelings today.
yeah. I think there's a lot of respect mutually passed around, not verbally, but
Yeah, yeah, a lot of respect.
telepathically. But yeah, no. So Dan's gonna be going to Waffle House. The lead barely escaped thanks to me. I told Lee to get me a Chick-fil-A gift card for that, but we'll see if he actually does that. It is
Collusion,
Christmas coming up. But
collusion.
anyways, playoff picture. Here we go. I am the sixth seed. I will be taking on my co-host slash kind of my really good friend, former roommate Richard. He's actually that way. I forgot I got to point backwards. I'll be taking him on. He is the three seed. And then on the other side of the bracket, we have Mr. Michael taking on JJ in a battle of the 4 and 5 seeds. There are
Yep,
two teams
great
with
matchup.
buys. Two teams with buys. One is Jared. Jared has been winning all season. He finished 10 and 4. The other is Nick Roush. Nick is 9 and 5, similar to Richard, but he had more points for. So he got the tiebreaker. Nick has a buy. So we're going to be having two
I also
playoff
think he
games.
beat me. I think he beat me head to head too.
He did, probably. I don't know, but
Yeah.
that doesn't
Oh.
actually take into account in our league because we only play each other once. So
Oh, okay.
no head to head, unfortunately. Next year we can look at divisions. We can look at all that fun stuff. But that
Yep.
is the playoff picture. What are your thoughts on all that?
This time on next week, next Tuesday, one of us won't be here. One of us will be eliminated from the island. Will be left to see. No, it's a good matchup. I think everybody who obviously, Jake was right there. Also, I think he finished. What did he finish? 6 and 7. Also
7 and 7. Yeah.
7-7. Yeah. So I mean, other than him, I think that was kind of I unfortunately did put the final stake in Grant, taking him to 5 and 9, I believe. Um, but yeah, I think everybody who should have been in got in. Gonna be a good playoff. We're gonna have a great matchup. I have to beat you.
It's
Sorry.
crazy. I just have to say, sorry. Side note, it is crazy. Like my team, if I did not put up the points I did, I would have been screwed. Jake was
Yeah.
the second highest point
Yeah.
scoring team. Dan was the third highest scoring team. I played Dan and I dropped 170, which Sleeper has this really cool feature. You go to league history. I added our 2022 league history to that today. But our 2023 league history, you can see the top 10 most scoring teams of all time. That performance made the top 10. So
I wonder
it
what
was
I
it
don't
was a
think I'm in
clutch.
there.
It was a clutch performance.
We'll just do a quick rundown. I mean, we already said the playoff bracket. We'll just do real quick rapid fire of the results from last week. I beat Grant 132-116. You beat Dan 171 and 146. High scoring your game. Jared lost to Mike 111 and 131. JJ lost to Nikki 90 to 130, and Lee lost to Jake 101 146. So again, we are on to the playoffs. The regular season is over. This is big boy time. This is everything. Listen, this is what you go 15, 14 weeks for this opportunity right here. This is a tournament, single elimination. We got the divisionals this week, and then we got the conference championships, and then we got the Super Bowl. So This is what we love. This is what we play for. This is the love of the game. I love this time of year. The weather in Florida has been immaculate. It's going to be immaculate this week coming up. I love it. I love this time of year. This is awesome. And then it's also great because you have the fantasy playoffs in the regular season, and then that goes straight into real life football playoffs, which is the best time of the year. College basketball is going. We're really in a really good time here, folks. 2024 is up and up. All right. What do you want to do next? You want to do
I just honestly, right before we get into what we had planned, I'd like to hear your thoughts on a couple teams.
Yeah.
Okay. This is kind of more of the fantasy focused episode. What are your thoughts on Jared's team kind of going? He has the bye this week. Where's your meter on his team? Because he's been a little bit colder recently. I know he doesn't like when we talk bad about his team, but just curious.
I've complimented Jared many times. I know he might not believe it, but I have. Golly, all right, thank you. Standings. Jared's team. I think Jared is very happy that he has the bye. I think some guys are banged up. Nico Collins is banged up. Patty Mahomes isn't playing great. Joshua Palmer, I think, is coming back, but I think he's happy with the bye. I think Darren Waller should be back by the time he plays next week. Also, he'll be activated from the IR. It's been a tough stretch for Jared, but listen, you're the 1 seed. Everybody's gunning for you. You're not going to go undefeated. I may have in past years in fantasy and other leagues. May have gone 16-0, but that's very rare. Okay, don't look at me and say, "Wow, I want to beat him." Don't do that. That stuff doesn't happen a lot. All right, so Jared, I'm sure, is very happy with the bye. I'd be happy if I had a bye. Literally, like, just act like this is real life. Let you guys get healthy, rest up, get the mentals right. Got a home playoff game versus one of us. I don't know how the seating goes.
Whoever wins between ours, we're playing Nick. The other side of the bracket plays Jared.
Okay. So he's got either Mike or JJ. So just heal up, get you guys right. Don't go on vacation or anything, but have some family dinners. It'll be okay.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, I think Jared still has that solid core. Tyreek got a little banged up last game, but the cool thing is he's on a bye, so there's literally no stress this week, no matter what. It sucks because in real life they're still going to be playing, so there's still injury risk. It's not actually a real bye for the players, unfortunately. Which
they can actually get health. They're actually really going to play.
Yeah, that'd be cool if they bake that into the real NFL. I don't know how they do that, but
everybody's got an important. The whole league just stops playing for a week.
I mean, if let's say the Dolphins were week 14, they played 13 games. Let's say they were 13-0. Like you were saying, they wouldn't rest Tyreek. Just like little. You could negotiate that. But anyways, I'm in agreement with you. I'm excited. Thursday we'll break down further our matchup and make the picks and everything like that. But I'm excited.
Yep. Yeah, and Tyreek Hill too. That's a huge question mark, but he did seem to finish that game. I think he probably just got his ankle rolled up a little bit by Sean Murphy-Bunting, former Buccaneer. We saw him making noise. But yeah, Jared will be okay. He just needs to heal up a little bit.
And then real quick too, just to do, I want to do this to honor his team and what he was able to accomplish.
Dan.
Yeah. Dan. Like I want to give Dan his props, man, because it's super sad to see him having to go to Waffle House. It's sad that
this is like in one of those Hallmark movies where like you think that everything's gonna like the guy's gonna finish the race in first place and then nothing. So listen, let's just get shout out to Dan. That's all we gotta say. Dan. If we had a drink in our hands right now, we'd raise a toast to Dan. I don't have a drink in my hand. Raise a toast to Dan. Listen, you can't ask for a better. I'm not even like this is gonna sound terrible. I'm not even trying to make fun of it. You can't ask for a better last place fantasy player than Dan has been. I'm not even listening. This sounds terrible, but I'm being dead serious. There's nothing worse than the guys who give up, who start dropping players, all that stuff. Dan was making trades, some of them good, some of them bad. But he was what 0-6. He was 0-6, 0-7. He finished 4-10. So if the year started in week 8, he'd be probably first place right now. So listen, we have mad respect for Dan and the effort that he showed. We have respect for everybody. This was a great league. This was a great year. Everybody tried their asses off, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, it's
and I've been saying all year I will be at Waffle House at some point during his punishment.
Yeah, likewise. And when you guys get a chance, I know this is really league focused, but one last thing, go to league history. It's pretty sick. Dan had
Yeah.
67 transactions on the year, tied for
Whew.
second. I was in first. I had 82.
Good Lord.
If you're curious, you had 50. I think you're up there as well. So I think that includes like adding, dropping players, trading, and things like that. But crazy, good year, great regular season.
Where do you
Nice.
see? Is this all online or in the app?
It's on the phone, the app.
I'm
Uh,
at league history. All I see is standings.
I don't know.
Oh,
I do it on
transactions.
the
Oh, yeah,
app.
transact. Where do you see the top 10 scoring all weekly high scores?
Yeah,
Oh,
it should say the week next to it.
damn. Oh my goodness. I was last. I was the
Yeah,
last one with 169. Jeez, dude.
yeah, it's crazy. I think Nick has the highest. It's like 211 or
Two
something.
214
214. Yeah,
all-time player high scores. Okay.
yeah.
No, that wasn't
Sleeper,
even me. Jeez. Dude,
sleeper is insane. Jamar Chase, I think holds the record.
I might be a fraud, dude. My goodness gracious. Psych. All right. Um, we got all the playoff talk in.
Yeah,
We're gonna hold off. We're gonna hold off on our prediction. Thursday's gonna be a jam-packed, great episode. Um, we also we forgot to catch up on our records last couple of weeks in our pick'em. So we'll update those on Thursday as well. Um, we can talk some real life NFL right now.
yeah. I did.
Um,
I just saw. And I know we want to get into the Bucks and
yeah,
Al Michael controversy. I will
yeah.
say that tomorrow night is going to be one of the worst NFL games we're ever going to watch. Keenan Allen's out. Josh Jacobs and Devontae Adams are questionable. The Raiders might bench Aiden O'Connell.
Wait, Josh Jacobs is out.
No, he's questionable.
Who's out? Who's the first? Oh, Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen is out. Devontae Adams and I think Josh Jacobs is dealing with a quad. Devontae Adams is dealing with an illness,
Mm. Mm, 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 mm.
I believe.
Fortunately, I do not have any. Actually, no, I don't. I don't have any Raiders or Chargers players. Yeah, last week was a crazy week. Last week was a crazy week in the NFL. You see, I'm wearing my Bills jersey. I'm very confident in the Bills. The Bills had a huge win versus the Chiefs. Um, they have a serious potential to make a run here, and they're playing Dallas this Sunday at home in Orchard Park. That's going to be a great game. The Chiefs lost to the Bills, as we all saw the Patrick Mahomes meltdown. The Mahomes meltdown. Surprised we haven't called it that yet. That was crazy. I haven't seen him like that, honestly, in his I don't think anybody has. That was pretty crazy to see him that animated. It's literally clearly a offensive offsides. Obviously, he's want to hear that in the moment, but it is. Talk about the Bucks. I listen. That was a playoff game. That was amazing. That was a grit I think that we have all been looking for in this team this year, to hit the adversity, to, it's not going to go perfect. It's not going to be easy to make the plays on. We said it. We said Chris Godwin's going to have a big game. Did he have 9 catches? No. But he literally had the most important catch that if we make the playoffs, we have to go back to that moment and say, this is what at least catapulted it. We might have a bigger moment at some point down the line. We don't know that 100% yet, but that 3rd and 10 play from Baker Mayfield to Chris Godwin, where he got the next play was the K. Alton touchdown. That saved our season. That saved. If we lose this game, we're done. Done. DONE, done. So I couldn't be more prouder to be a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan. I couldn't be more prouder that we are competing, playing, winning, going for the NFC South. I don't care what NFC East team comes into Ray J if we win. I don't care. Okay. But I'm so proud of that team. That was a great game. That is what December and January football is all about. I loved it.
Yeah, we got the Packers next week, which I'm pretty hopeful based on what we saw on Monday night. Just that showing. They're also really banged up. So I'm hopeful
Super
about
banged up.
that. It's interesting. Devin White didn't play. Defense played well. I think Devin White's on his way out. Mike Evans, it seems every year he reaches 1,000 yards and just like, yo, I'm out. Chris Godwin really stepped up. That was awesome. That Baker, nobody can deny that guy. He's got a clutch gene. He's got that DNA, that cold blooded. Just he's got the ice in his veins. I'll put it that way.
Mhm.
So that was really cool to see. I'm really curious where he's going to end up next year if we re-sign him. But that'll be a future conversation. But I wasn't that super confident, to be honest, going into to Atlanta, enemy territory, and Atlanta was looking pretty good. I was nervous how we are going to contain Bijan.
No
I
fear.
was Drake London had a really good game against us, which a lot of teams do. Our weakness is our secondary when it comes to defense, but we still were able to get it done. We made the plays when it mattered. So yeah, I mean it's really exciting to see. I'm excited to see how it all plays out. We couldn't be in a better spot. Well, we could be in a better spot if we were undefeated, but we're in a good spot.
I was torn watching the Packers Giants. I kind of wanted the Packers to no, I mean, I wanted the Packers feeling comfortable going into our game, whether that be a win or a loss, whatever. But I wanted them to feel comfortable because when you get a team comfortable like that, you know, yeah, you let their guard down, especially at home playing the Bucks. People think we can't play in the cold weather, but I don't know. They didn't look good. Like I know I do know that they did not look good. They don't have Christian Watson. They don't have Aaron Jones. They don't look like a good football team right now. And they look a lot like the Falcons did versus the Jets the week before. And we've gone into Lambeau. We've gone in there in the frozen tundra when no one expected us to win, wearing our white puny uniforms, and we won. We went to the Super Bowl after. So again, to me, every single game from here on is a play. I'm obviously rooting for the Panthers and the Giants. The Panthers and Giants. I hope the Giants I hope Tommy DeVito and that Giants defense continues to just make insane plays all over the field. Shout out Jason Pinnock. These guys are flying all over the ball. I hope they go into New Orleans and bring that same exact enthusiasm and that tenacity on defense because they were playing out of their minds versus Green Bay. Green Bay was hot. So they were the pecking order. The Bucks need to win. The Giants need to win. The Panthers need to win. Boom, 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 boom. Those three teams. That's a perfect weekend for me in my book. But I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, Green Bay didn't look great. The Chargers, you kind of already touched on it. I mentioned it. Literally, I swear, I know this podcast is not big at all, but I said something last podcast that literally a guy, I think who works for CBS said he took I don't know, he copy and pasted and put Chat GPT what I said. I was like, dude, I mentioned that Sean Payton turned the Chargers turned Sean Payton down. He's a Broncos coach now. He beats Brandon Staley, and Brandon Staley's on the precipice of getting fired. So it's like the guy pretty much said exactly that, but I'm not a big Brandon Staley fan. Not that I'm not a fan. I don't dislike the guy, but it's just the Chargers. Herbert, broken finger done for the year. I don't really think that would have made the outcome different in that game, but what do you think on that?
Yeah, I mean the Chargers, it's just so sad to see the potential that they have and that they just never. I remember watching Derwin James interviews, former Noel, go Noles, former Noel, Derwin James. I was watching interviews with him before the season. He just sounded so amped, the Chargers going to go, oh, goodness gracious, all the way. But yeah, I mean they keep losing these close games. Now they have a guy named after the hockey stick brand, Easton Stick. Somebody was asking, is his middle name Hockey? We don't know. They got him starting. They don't have Keenan Allen. They're about to go to the Raiders. If they beat the Raiders,
is that game in Vegas or in LA?
It's in Vegas. I'll be very shocked if they beat the Raiders. And then one more side note. I keep looking at you, and your hat looks like it has one of those little spinny things on top.
Is that why you keep laughing? I'm like, what the hell are you laughing at?
I can't unsee it. But yeah, no, the Chargers are in a really, really bad spot. So yeah, I mean, Justin Herbert's out for the year. Their season's done. Brandon Staley's most likely going to get fired.
Yeah.
We'll see who's their offensive coordinator. Tom Monken.
Who's ours?
Or Kellen Moore. Right?
Kellen Moore is theirs. Yeah, Kellen Moore is theirs. I don't really know if Kellen Moore has really been the problem. I honestly think it's been everything. They just haven't offense and defense haven't been clicking at the same time. So it's just not kind of like what was happening with the Bucks a lot, where one side of the ball played well, the other side wouldn't. So
pretty sure Joey Bosa's done for the year.
It's a disaster there. They were I think in my predictions I had the Chargers winning the West. That's not going to happen. Broncos technically could still win the West. They're going to need a lot of things to happen. I'm sure they lost to Kansas City once and then they beat Kansas City, so they're done playing Kansas City. But they're going to need some things to happen for that to happen. Happen. Said that a lot. And then finally, I just wanted to touch on Al Michaels. Listen, I think everybody in this group chat knows how I feel, but I will say it to the world. I love Al Michaels. There are certain announcers that when you hear their voice, it's big game. Al Michaels, Joe Buck, Chris Fowler, Keith Jackson, Vern Lundquist, all these guys.
Tony Romo, honestly, too. I noticed that.
Jim Nance. all these dudes. Tarico, you hear these voices and you know this is a big game. Al Michaels will always be a big game voice. Is he older? Yes. Newsflash: we all get old and die. Okay, grow up. All right. Is he a little bit slower? Absolutely. He's calling horrendous football games, people. The Thursday Night Football product is terrible. It's terrible. Do I love it? Are we all consume it? Absolutely. But these guys, if you think about it, it'd be like if we went to work and they said, have a project done in 48 hours that you have had absolutely no preparation for. It's the product itself is terrible. These guys cannot rest and recover in that short amount of time to put on a good football game. The numbers show these games stink, but we still love it. It's a money making machine. Amazon pays a lot of money for it, so it is what it is. But don't get mad at Al Michaels because he's calling the Chargers and the Raiders. That's not Al Michaels' fault. It's not. He can't control. If he had to pick which game he was picking, he would call the Bills and the Cowboys this weekend. Period. So the slander. Oh, and the whole reason I'm talking about this, he got removed from the NBC playoff game. So NBC has 2 playoff games, in the wild card weekend, Super Wild Card weekend. The first one is usually the worst AFC matchup, usually the AFC South versus that next wild card. And he's no longer doing it. They replaced him and Tony Dungy. They brought in their college football guys. Horrendous mistake. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Everybody wants to, Al Michaels to scream and shout and do jumping jacks and cartwheels in the booth, like as if he's like a superhero. And then I said in the group chat, people want to watch Subway Surfers. They're watching a football game, be entertaining like we're 4 years old. Like it's pathetic. Al Michaels is one of the best to ever do it. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what this younger generation thinks. He is amazing. He's awesome. Big game voice. I'm pissed off. I hope that one of these other networks, for some reason, puts him on and he gets to do one more game in the playoffs because that's where it matters the most. Yeah, did he have a not great performance in the Jags and Chargers game last year? Absolutely. But you know what? 50% of America was in a bar watching it, so who cares? Okay? So that's all I got to say about that. I think it's trash. I think what NBC is doing is trash, and I hate it. I hate it, period.
I don't understand. Like, I feel like he's never been a guy that really like his voice doesn't raise to the octave that is like a scream or shout. Like, I feel like he's like, oh, like he doesn't like get
his
super
thing
high.
is he's the big name. He's done Monday Night Football and Sunday Night Football for years. And in those moments, like that Rams Bucks playoff game when Cam Akers fumbled, you can hear it in his voice. Like it takes it to another level in a close game like that. But there wasn't a moment in that Chargers Jaguars game where there wasn't that moment where you knew right there. It was a gradual. They came back from 33 points. The guy can't just turn it on for 33 straight points. Like it's just stupid that everybody's pinpointing that one game and forgetting the Malcolm Butler and all the catch that the guy had in Green Bay and Oakland years ago where he caught off his ass. Like it's just ridiculous how people are just forgetting all that, throwing it all away because he had a bad playoff game with Tony Dungy. Like, come on, man, give me a break. Give me a break, NBC. What you're doing right now is not right. You guys are trying to send a message to him. This is a power struggle thing. It's a joke, and I will not be listening to that game on volume. It'll be on mute.
If you actually do that, that'd be insane.
It's gonna be on zero. My grandfather watches games on mute. I'm gonna be sitting right with him. Mute.
No subtitles or anything.
Yeah, maybe no subtitles either. Just my eyes.
All right. Well, you got that. Yeah, no, I mean, I love Al Michaels. His voice is like so calming and soothing. And when I'm watching games, it just feels right when he's commentating them.
Exactly.
Kirk Herbstreit, I don't know how I feel about
Stinks.
him right now. I don't know how I feel about him right now.
He stinks.
He's kind of a
he
MSU
stinks.
hater. We're an old friendly podcast.
I'm out on Kirk Herbstreit. Out. I like him as a person. I think he's a great guy. He needs to chill out with his hate. He needs to chill out with his hate, and he hasn't been great on Amazon either. I'm out on Kirk Herbstreit for he's in the doghouse. I'll put it that way. Kirk Herbstreit's in the doghouse.
Yeah. I also don't know why so many people are so like just enjoy the game. Like, why are we being so judgmental on all these announcers? Like, we're getting to watch football. Like, we all love football. Like,
people just need a reason to complain. Like, as if Al Michaels is the reason they got. Like, dude, come on, it's Al Michaels. What are you talking about? Like, give me a break. Give me a break.
Yeah, but I mean, is what it is. Hopefully another network signs him. I'm a big Al Michaels fan as well. It's also
it's gonna be.
He's older, so let him
it's
respect.
It's unfortunate, man. It's unfortunate. You know, he's got one more year with Amazon after this, and after that, I don't know. Maybe he'll do. Maybe he'll be the voice of the Bucks. Who knows? Nah, he won't. But he's an LA guy. He lives out in LA. He'll probably do something. He'll probably just do nothing in golf. That's it. We'll keep this. Listen, we want to put a cap on everything. We don't want to let too much out of the bag for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's gonna be awesome. Tune in. This is just a nice little episode. Get together, say what's up to Kenny, checking on everything. How's the family? How's everything? Yada yada yada. Small talk like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't actually care. No, I'm kidding.
Wow. That's
Kidding. I care. I love Kenny's family. They're my family. Yeah. So we'll have another episode tomorrow.
yeah. Tomorrow's episode will be very good. Make sure you tune in. If you made it this far, comment hashtag save Al Michaels. And,
Yeah, if you that's how we'll know who's watching. If you watch this episode, comment hashtag save Al Michael or no, justice for Al Michaels.
I like
and,
that.
No, oh well.
Whatever, something about Al Michaels.
This is it. This is it. If you've made it this far, this is really impressive. Say hashtag thank you Al Michaels.
Okay.
All
Hashtag-
caps in the comments. Hashtag thank you Al Michaels in the comment section. If you watch this video from beginning to end, all the shout we got. We'll always do the shouts to all the new subscribers. Everyone.
We'll give a signed loose leaf paper to whoever
Yeah.
the first one to comment. So
Perfect. Yep. You'll
Yeah.
get a signed selfie from me and Kenny.
yep. Snapchat.
And shout out to Melvin. I saw he was on the way home.
Yep.
Shout out to
He'll
Melvin.
be back.
I actually
back.
just got a new salute to service hat. It was $8. So
Salute.
shout out to Melvin. That's all I got. You got anything else?
No, this was kind of a bridge episode. Tomorrow, expect a lot of drama, fireworks, explosions. So
Everybody knows that song, Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. That's tomorrow. Let the Bodies Hit the Floor.
Intense.
Yep.
Cool. All right. We'll see you. We'll see you tomorrow, boys. Take care.
Peace.